Hey, good to see you again. The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for round number 10 and the halfway point of the season for my home race, the British Grand Prix. But first things first, we do get an upgrade for this race, which is the one that failed on us a couple of races ago for the rear part of the car on the downfall section. But if you guys did miss the last episode at Austria, it was a crazy race, which I do urge you to go check out. We're on an incredible streak of just mad races where it's all just kicking off, and somehow we're getting good results from it. I'm not going to spoil any of them for you, but there've been some pretty mad races, so I do urge you to go check them out, whether it's in the description down below with the playlist link, and also in the top right hand corner where you can check out the last episode. But here at Silverstone for round number 10 of the season, like I said, the halfway point of the season and my home race, one that I always want to try and perform in. And I've got to say, going into this race weekend, based off of previous seasons, I was semi-optimistic because it's a track that I love driving. It's a really fun track to drive with these cars, but I have struggled in the past for some pace, and as you can see now, jumping into Saturday qualifying, just like in Austria, we've been blessed with some wet conditions again. So at this point, I was already concerned that my pace might be a bit of a concern, and straight away, if it was the exact same issue as Austria, really struggled for some pace in the wet qualifying, could not get the car to work. It was working beautifully in practice, and there is no rain schedule for the race. But for a wet qualifying, my God, with the dry setup on the car, really struggled. And in Q1, we didn't do that great because we qualified in 14th. So we was miles away from the pace, and we really struggled. And then in Q2, we kicked off with some great news that we had an issue with our car. So we missed a big chunk of the session, and I basically went out as late as possible because the track was drying up. So I thought I'd go out right as late as possible, take all the fuel out the car and try and push. And to be fair, that went okay, went pretty well, but the car was understeering like a bus in a lot of the corners, and I was concerned I might not make the cut. I was pushing hard, and I was on the bubble, but as you see now, going for the final corner, the checker flag is now out. Raikkonen goes fastest, and we're going to come through the final corner, and the question is, have we done enough? And unfortunately, we have not. It's going to be 11th place. We just miss out on a Q3 position, so disappointed because Q3 would have been dry conditions, and the only benefit is we're going to have a fresh set of tyres to start from the race tomorrow, but so will everybody else, as Q2 was a wet session. But hopefully our strategy can be better than the strategy from those around us, because we're going to need a miracle to try and get something out of the race tomorrow, because if everyone's got a similar strategy to me and it's a one-stop, we're in trouble. But Alonso there bags himself an incredible P9. But overall, that was the story of qualifying. But we are now going to move into Sunday for round 10 of the season for the British Grand Prix. Okay, here we are then on the grid for the British Grand Prix, round number 10 of the season, and pretty much the halfway point of the season. And just like the last race in Austria, a disappointing qualifying sees us start the race down the order from P11. The good thing is, though, unlike Austria, we are going to have the benefit of tyre strategy for this one. Obviously, in Austria, same thing happened. The AR also qualified in the wet conditions in Q2, so they've also got a free choice of tyre. But hopefully, I can still gain some places because of my tyre strategy, fingers crossed. So hopefully that'll work out for us, but I'm looking forward to this race. Here's my home race, so I do want to try and give it 110% and really try and have a really good race here today, and hopefully put in a performance for the home fans. I'm looking to try and get a top 6. That'd be the aim. If I can get a top 6, I'd be very happy, or at least 7th place behind the Ferrari, Mercedes and Force India trio. So if I can get 7th place maybe, or onwards, that'd be very good. I'm hoping that AI go aggressive on tyres, and I can maybe gain something from that. Maybe a couple of 2 stops would really help me out. But if we look at the race strategy, you can see on screen right now, we are going to start the race on the slowest medium tyre and then switch over to the soft compound tyres. Now, I'm going to hope this works for us. Hopefully we've got some good pace on the medium. That's what I'm banking on. If we can perform well on that tyre, especially in this opening couple of laps, then we're going to set ourselves up nicely for this race, and hopefully that will work out for us. Also, we've overfueled quite a lot, and I want to go quite aggressive with the fuel and be able to use rich mix quite a lot this race. So hopefully that will all work out for us. Dry conditions throughout, a proper nice sunny day here in Great Britain. So I'm looking forward to the race. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the race for round number 10 of the season for the British Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights for round 10 of the season. And it's lights out and away we go. We've got to try and get a good start in this very slow tyre here. We've had a great start, to be fair, getting a better start than Alonso, who's starting on super softs. As we go around the outside of turn 1 here, very good start to this race. We've got Ricciardo in front, I'm going to try and force my way to the inside, switch my line into turn number 3. A little bit of contact with Ricciardo there, back end stepping at me slightly. We're going to try and go around the outside of turn 4 Village. Ricciardo's going to hold it on the inside though, and I just can't get the same traction as him, but we are very close to the Red Bull here. We're going to pull to the inside already. Ricciardo going to give me a bit of a squeeze, but we are going to go for the move. Can we get it slowed down on the brakes into turn 5 or 6 into Lutfield? It's going to be very close. Ricciardo is still there on my inside. We're going to go around the outside of Brooklands, I think this is, and Ricciardo still holds on. I got Alonso now on my inside, but we're just going to power in front of him there and close the door on him, and now we're pushing Ricciardo down this old pit straight into turn 1, or the old turn 1, Copse corner. Can we hold it? Oh, we just got back out of it. Just don't have the grip on these tyres just yet. We've got Alonso and Grosjean going side by side here. It's all kicking off here at Silverstone early on, and we've got to use this start phase to really make up some positions and make up some ground. But you can see the grip difference there on the super soft Daniel Ricciardo, how much he pulled away. But luckily we are inside the top 10, so gained a place on the start. And like I said, now it's a question of trying to settle into this race and have good race pace on this tyre. So let's try and find our feet a bit and see what our pace is like. Right, Hulkenberg is actually attacking Ricciardo here, so we've got to keep our eyes open. We are sort of keeping up with this battle of cars, and we've got a chance to make a move. I think I can see Verstappen from way back here on the mediums. I know he's actually on super softs, just from the shine, it looks like he's on mediums, but Verstappen might have an issue with his car. I can't tell because his pace isn't great, and we're all sort of been able to keep up with him. But right now, lap times are good, the tyres feel okay, and I feel like I can do something with this car. So far, we're hanging in there just about with the DRS, so it's just about trying to have some good pace, keeping in the battles right now in this first stint, and then when we switch over to the softs in the next one, that's when we'll be more competitive. So far we're doing a good job of hanging in there. Okay, another personal best, still hanging in there. Verstappen at the front of this train is starting to set some better pace, but we're still just about keeping up. It's all about just having good pace here and trying to be aggressive. I just can't drop out of DRS. That's the important thing. I've got to try and keep within that 1 second gap, and I'm struggling to keep up now as these guys are just picking up the pace a little bit. Oh, Ricciardo's running deep into the brakes, and Hulkenberg slipped past. So Ricciardo struggling for pace early on here, and that's allowed Hulkenberg to slip past. So these guys are still having a battle at this point, and the Red Bull really struggling to switch on around this circuit. So right now, we just keep it going. We might have a chance of still keeping up with these guys. Okay, we've got cars in the pit lane for the first stops of the race here. So hopefully these guys, unless they're on mediums, will be on 2-stop strategies, I'm hoping. So hopefully I'm really praying that they go on harder tyres, and that will help me out. Lap times are still good. I'm still setting some good pace. So it's just a question of hanging in there and making these tyres last. Oh, yellow flag behind, and I think my teammate might have had an issue. There might have been a crash or something. Safety car deployed. Interesting. So something's happened further behind us, and it involves my teammate, but there's a safety car deployed. So what do we do now with these tyres? I think we've got to stay out, surely. Because if we can stay out on these, we can have a chance of going on super softs at the end of the race. I think that's probably the best thing to do. I don't really want to switch to the softs because I'm not going to make it to the end. So I think I'm just going to hang out on these tyres, to be honest. They're still in good nick, only around 20% worn, so we may as well stay out on these tyres and try and go on the super softs at the end of the race and have the best tyre possible, and also loads of rich mix saved up. So I think I'm going to go for that. This is going to suit the rest of the super soft tyre runners beautifully though, as they all come into the pit lane. So they're all going to get, not a free pit stop, but they're going to get a pretty damn good pit stop. We're going to pretty much take the lead of the race here, so that's going to blow things wide open because I'm going to be in the lead, controlling the pace on this medium tyre. Now, I'm interested to see how the pack is going to stack up after all these pit stops. Raikkonen's leaving the pit lane now on super soft, so I'm hoping someone gets in front of him, because otherwise he's going to be an instant threat, but I don't think no one's going to get in front of him. So Raikkonen's going to be in second place on the super softs, and then Perez in third on the medium. So the only realistic direct threat is going to be Kimi for now on the super softs. I really am looking forward to this now, because if Raikkonen's on supers, he's going to have to stop again anyway, as am I. So I'm looking to save up loads of fuel, so then hopefully, the fingers crossed, I can run in rich and I can actually pursue the race win here, because I'm going to push with rich mix as soon as the safety car comes in on these medium tyres, because they're not that worn. I want to try and stretch the pack out as much as I can, and I think I can do that. And I'm hoping, obviously Raikkonen will pit, he probably will overtake me anyway, but I'm hoping once Raikkonen pits, the aim is that when he does do that, if he comes in for a slower tyre, we're going to come in for the supers at the end of the race. And hopefully that will suit me, and I can really push in that final stint and make something happen, hopefully, unlike in Austria. But it's very important that I keep Raikkonen behind me for as long as possible. Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap, so we're going to get ready for the restart here. And we haven't been putting them on a limiter, so we get to push however we want. For some reason, the limiter's not activated, but the safety car is going to come in now, and we're going to get ready for the restart. And we're just going to floor it now and try and have a good getaway here. So let's try and get up to speed nice and quickly. I've had a bit of a sketchy entry into the chicane there. Raikkonen is all over the back of me, but we're going to floor it in rich mix and try and stretch the pack out. Raikkonen is very, very close to me. I don't think he's close enough to make a move into turn one. Luckily, that would really get on my nerves. So we're going to try now and push hard, really stretch this pack out. And I was pushing really hard before anyway, but I've got to find even more pace and really maximise how fast this Williams can go, because on this worn tyre, and this has been the slower tyre anyway, it's going to be a real challenge to really try and fight the pack here. Raikkonen's going to be in my slipstream, but I don't think he's fast enough because of my rich mix to make a move, so that's going to be perfect for me to just try and forget about Raikkonen in the straights and just try and focus on myself and try and set some good pace and pull away. So let's try and hammer the throttle and really open up a gap here. Right, personal best into 1 minute 30, 7 tenths faster than my previous personal best. Raikkonen though still right on my tail. He's going to be so quick. I think I'll be able to keep him behind until DRS does get enabled. That's when I'm going to struggle to really keep him behind. So I'm not going to shake him off anytime soon. He's going to be behind me the entire time. I've got to accept it. But if I can just stretch the rest of the pack, I mean, look at the gap we've got from about P5 on behind. You can just see we've got 4 or 5 dots behind me, and then there's a huge gap, which is exactly what I want. I just want to try and open up the pack. So far we're doing a good job of it. I just got to keep pushing. Okay, DRS is now enabled. This is when things are going to get very interesting. Raikkonen's going to go for the move. I'm going to defend because I want this track position. So this is important for me to have this first place. It's not like different tyre strategy and I'm just going to let Raikkonen get on with it. I want to win this race, and a lot of you guys want to see me battle the AI more. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to make it easy for him. I think he's now pushed it into rich mix because he's definitely found some straight line speed here. So we might be in trouble. He's going to look for the inside into cops, but he thinks better of it and doesn't commit to the move. But he's definitely picked up the straight line speed now. So Raikkonen turning up the wick here in this top 6 breakaway, I think. Another personal best. I'm just on the limit every single lap, just trying to find little bits of time here and there. Raikkonen and the rest of the crew are still pushing me hard here, but Raikkonen is the major threat, still pushing very hard. Okay, so far I'm doing a really good job of holding on. The rich mix has been a massive help for me, and I think I've actually got a little bit of a gap to Raikkonen now. I've managed to just pull away slightly, and now he's not as close to make a move. Also on the hanger straight, and also last lap as well, he just wasn't close enough to make the overtake, and I'm still pushing on here. I've got plenty of rich mix to use. The tyres critically are holding up, so we're able to stay ahead, and this is very, very important for me if I want to try and win this race, because if I can just get to the pit stops and be in the lead, then I'm going to be looking very good on them super soft tyres at the end of the race. I'm still finding more pace. Another personal best, 1 minute 30.7, still pushing really hard here, and I'm just starting to stretch the guys behind a little bit now, and hopefully they start battling between themselves, because that's going to really help me out. Okay, Raikkonen comes into the pit lane. I believe a few others also come in with him, but Raikkonen in, I'm going to presume he's going to go onto the soft compound tyres, so we just got to keep pushing now. The next 2 laps are absolutely critical. I might even come in at the end of this lap just to respond to Raikkonen's pit stop. Okay, into Stone now. We're going to get ready for our stop. I'm going to come in this lap because I've got to respond to Kimi Raikkonen. So here we go. We're going to really push this pit entry, get it also down for a 60, and make sure we don't speed. That was pretty damn good in my opinion. Perez is going to continue on for 1 more lap, as does Esteban Ocon on those medium tyres. Those guys might go to the end of the race maybe. I mean, we might not even win this race because thanks to the safety car, they might go all the way. But I've got to do this pit stop, and hopefully it works out for us. And hopefully it's nice and quick. We don't get held up, which we shouldn't do. There's no one else in the pit lane. So a nice quick stop, 2.3, not too bad. We're going to get underway now up to speed. There's Verline behind us in the Sauber, so he's having a bloody good race at the moment. And I can't see no dot just yet from Raikkonen, so we're looking good so far. But the question is, where is he going to be once we rejoin the circuit? There's Hamilton who's next. So we're going to get up to speed here, exit the pit lane, make sure we don't have any issues exiting the pit lane. And there's Bottas also coming by now. He's going to be neck and neck, and Bottas there. Also Vettel now just behind. Bottas actually locks up and runs deep, and the Vettel's behind him. So we've managed to come out ahead of Raikkonen from what I can tell. So that is critical. And now we're on the super soft tyres, and there is Raikkonen behind Bottas, and Vettel now is in front. So we're in a pretty competitive league here with all these big boys. So now we've got to try and set the pace on this tyre. Personal best 129.3, really pushing hard. Vettel has really given me some severe pressure. He's definitely in rich mix and he's pretty quick on that soft tyre, as is Lewis Hamilton. Raikkonen has issues with his cars. Jeff just tells me on the radio, so we can just focus on our battle with Sebastian and also Lewis in front. They're both on great race pace on that soft compound tyre, and we're going to struggle to really match these guys. I mean, Vettel is much faster than me on that soft, and look at that, he's got some straight line speed. That's absolutely incredible. That Ferrari is the fastest car on a straight line for a reason, but I'm having to use the rich mix to defend because my pace is good, but these guys are just they're in another league, they're in another planet. So I think if I can get a podium, I'll be very happy this race. Oh, safety car deployed. Another twist in the tail this race. That is huge. So another safety car. We've still got some tyres left, so we can still push on these. My car, I'll tell you, the car felt absolutely incredible on these tyres, but a second safety car. No one's retired from what I can tell, but the good thing about this is those who are staying on the mediums, like Perez and Ocon and whoever's in third place, and they were basically going to end the race, they're gonna have us three now breathing down their necks. So this is going to be, oh, Raikkonen, it's Raikkonen who is out. So Raikkonen, first retirement of the season, and he triggered the safety car. That's going to be massive for the championship because his lead's going to come down to nothing. But back to what I was saying, those who stayed out in front on the medium tyres and then we're not doing any more stops, they're going to be compromised now in strategy because they're going to have Hamilton, myself and Vettel breathing down their necks. And the good thing is I can save enough rich mix now to go to the end, so I can really push the car when the restart gets underway, and I think I've got enough tyres to really be aggressive with it. So I'm really looking forward to these last few laps here, and there could be another twist in the tail. Okay, so currently it's a Force India 1-2 with Ricciardo in third. The Force Indians would be absolutely ecstatic if they can pull that result home because their factory's just over the road, so that would be an incredible result for their home race. But more things to point out, not a single lap car between us, so it's going to be a straight fight to the finish. It's going to be pretty much 2 laps of sprinting because the safety car is going to come in this lap. So I don't know if we're going to win this race, but the podium is definitely on the cards, so we've got to be ready, and I've got loads of fuel to use and burn, so we're going to run Rich right to the very end of the race. In terms of cars behind, we've got Sebastian and also Bottas, who has recovered position, and also Verstappen, so all the big boys are all in the right places. I've basically just replaced Raikkonen in this fight, but it would be basically the top 8, so I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a very exciting battle now. Okay, it's going to get time for the restart. We've got to be sharp, ready, and on our toes here for this restart, so I'm going to try and get myself in a good position here. Hamilton is in front of us. He's also going to be hungry to get a result in his home race. But here we go. We're going to get up to speed. Yellow flag, now green flag. And we're going to go straight in for the dive on Lewis up the inside. Try and catch him unawares on cold tyres. He's still there on my inside. I'm just going to get the power down. He's still on my inside here. It's going to be a drag race into turn 1. I am in rich mix here, so it's going to be very close. He's going to hold it on the inside. I'm going to go on the outside of Lewis. Loads of grip, a little bit of contact, but we are going to make the move. It's rash and it's very aggressive, but I had to make it stick because that's the only time I'm going to have a chance to get past him because I think he's faster than me. But we've made the move. Now we can floor it. We've got 2 whole laps to try and get past these medium tyre runners. The issue is no DRS now for the rest of the race, so we're going to have to do it on raw slipstream. And right now I can sniff a race win. It's going to be very hard, but I can smell it. And at least the podium is what I want. So we're very close to Ricciardo now. We've caught up right to the back of him, and we should be able to make the move hopefully very soon. Onto the last lap. What can we do here in the last lap of this crazy British Grand Prix? Can we make anything happen here? Very close to Daniel Ricciardo. I'm going to try and set him up for a move, hopefully. Getting some good traction up the inside at turn 4 on the brakes, making a nice cheeky dive. Getting the traction on these super softs. Going to have the inside, a little bit of oversteer, but we're going to just close the door on him. And there we go, we're up at the P3. So we're into a podium. Can we do anything else this race? Okay, we're going to have to really throw the car now into Maggots, Beckett's and and Chapel. We've got to really be aggressive with it here. Really maximise the performance of the car. Get the nose turn in. Just get the power on there. But we're just not really close enough to Ocon. We need to just rely on the slipstream and maybe go for a dive into the final chicane. Let's try and push it. I think Perez is out the question now, so we're not going to catch him. It's if we can get past Esteban Ocon here. And we're very far behind. We're not close enough, but Ocon's going to go a little bit defensive into the final chicane here, so I might give me a chance to make a move. I'm going to try and get the switch back on him, but I just can't get close enough. I'm going to be very close, but not close enough. It's going to be a podium, but it's a Force India 1-2 in their home race. Absolutely incredible, but I'm very happy with that podium. Very, very, very happy indeed. That was one of my best races in the season. Just like Baku, giving it 120% every single lap. After the safety car on the medium tyres, with Raikkonen pressuring us all the time. really pulling out the bag there, and this Williams car is definitely pushing me to the limit of how good I can drive. But oh man, that was a tough race. But Perez wins at Silverstone. Ocon comes home in second, and we take the third step and final step of the podium. But what an absolutely incredible race. 2 safety cars, they both changed the race respectively, and wow, I'm really ecstatic with that podium. That is a fantastic result, and I couldn't have wished for any better way. That's a really good way to end this race after qualifying so poorly yesterday. Really enjoyed that. But Perez wins, Ocon comes home in second place, and I wrap up the podium. But we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings after that crazy race. Right, so looking at the final race results, Sergio Perez wins the British Grand Prix ahead of Esteban Ocon, a 1-2 for the Pink Panthers, starting from 6th and 9th respectively on the grid, so great result for those guys. We come home in a brilliant 3rd place from P11, really good result, and then Daniel Ricciardo also from P7 up to P4. The big losers, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, all losing places this race, and they'll be disappointed with their respective finishing positions. Also, Hulkenberg, Grosjean and also Bottas ran out of top 10. Bottas, another guy that will be disappointed with his race performance here today. Further down the order, my teammate Felipe Massa, Magnussen, Raikkonen, and also finally Marcus Ericsson all retire from the race, but Raikkonen being the big one there, and that's going to be big things for the Drivers' Championship as his lead gets cut down to 16 points as Sebastian Vettel reels him in a little bit there, and Sergio Perez jumps up into 3rd place, overtaking Lewis Hamilton, and he goes only 36 points behind Raikkonen, and then Hamilton drops down to 4th, like I said. Ocon overtakes me for 5th place, and I lose a place to the Frenchman as obviously that 2nd place made the points difference to him. But we're very much in the race here, and you can see a big gap now between myself and Bottas forming, so it's almost like a top 6 here. I wouldn't say for the championship just yet, but there's a top 6 forming nonetheless, and then Grosjean overtakes my teammate Felipe Massa further down. But in terms of the constructor standings, everything remains exactly the same, and we hold on to our 4th place. But we're now going to move into the laptop. Okay, so unfortunately we've been offered a contract, but it's not the one I was looking for. We've been given the option to move to different teams, but that's not what I'm here for. I was here for a first driver promotion, but we haven't got that, so we're just going to have to sign on and stay a 2nd driver. Also, we're going to do a classic event, so we'll probably go for the checkpoint challenge. I'll do that in a moment, but if we now delve into the laptop, we are going to stay with Williams obviously for a bit longer. I was hoping to be first driver by now, but obviously I'm still not doing enough, so we've got to keep pushing here and trying to improve. Now, if we look at the R&D point situation, I was going to buy an upgrade, but I do really want to make an ultimate upgrade for the aero and really try and get a move on with this. So I think I'm going to hold up. I'm going to hold off on the on using the resource points, and I'm going to wait until the next race in Hungary. So there'll be no upgrades for a couple of races now, and then we're going to focus on really trying to finish off with this aero side of things and really get it pushed. So hopefully we can improve on that very soon. But we're now going to delve into the classic event. But before that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, and if you have, then please do smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also please be sure to check out these videos on screen right now, and also in the links down below in the description. And also please be sure to check out GT Omega in the description down below. Use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount at checkout. But other than that, guys, massive thank you for watching this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.